What's going on, Internet? It is your boy Eric Bandholz back again with another awesome episode from Beardbrand. And today, I'm going to tell you why you gotta strip clean shaven out of your vocabulary. So a lot of you guys have probably never even given the term clean shaven a second thought. Yes, we're all familiar with the term clean shaven. It means you don't have a beard, you don't have facial hair, you don't have mustaches, no sideburn, anything like that. But sometimes it takes a video like this to point out how messed up using that term is. So looking back on the history of clean shaven, you'll probably see that it comes from the term clean cut, which means it's a sharp edge, right? You got it done, you don't have any like leftover hairs, you're not bleeding all over the place. But what's happened is it's kind of been tied in with identity of people. So this person looks clean shaven, or he's a clean shaved guy, and it's more tied in with the cleanliness aspect of the word clean rather than the cut aspect of the word clean. And that's really the problem with the term clean shaven. All right, so I did a little digging and did some research, and the term clean shaven wasn't really used in our vernacular until about 1860 to 1865 is approximately the first time people actually started using that. Before that, they just used the word shaven. Now put yourself back in that time frame, and of course, in America, there's a giant war going on. I've got this data right here that's pulled from England and London and the facial hair trends, which I'm going to assume are pretty similarly aligned with America. Of course, they're not going to be dead on, but it's going to give you a basic feel. So you'll see at 1860, about 25 to 30% of guys are completely shaven, or as they use the term, clean shaven. And the majority of guys had some kind of facial hair. And it was actually on a downward trend. See, the razor was invented in 1847, followed up by the safety razor in 1880, and then Gillette came in around 1900 or 1901. And that, my friends, is the turning point for where the beards and facial hair really started losing. See, Gillette came in and they had this really novel business model of selling dirt cheap razors that are disposable and you can throw away. So it made shaving more accessible to the guy. Whereas before, you would have to go into a barber shop to get your face shaved. It was more of a hassle to go and get that look. So it was new for a lot of guys to be able to have the completely shaved look. So of course, like anything, something that's new, they get into it. Now Gillette, they had their act together. They knew what they're doing. They were profitable. They were making money. But of course, what are they going to do? They're going to propagate the term clean shaven, because wouldn't you want your customers to look and think that they're clean, and the people who aren't their customers are dirty and unhygienic? Of course. So they're spreading this terminology throughout everywhere. And you'll see the gradual rise of the term clean shaven used in our vernacular. So here's the biggest problem with the clean shaven term. The fact is, it's not even true. Like, shaving your face completely is actually dirtier than if you had a beard. Well, the Journal of Hospital Infections did this study on 408 guys. They swabbed their faces for bearded guys and guys without beards. And what they found is guys who have completely shaven faces have more MRSA on their face than the guy with the beard. So what they think it's from is the razor hitting your skin, and you get these micro-abrasions on your skin, which lead to a hosting environment for the bacteria, for the bad bacteria. Now, in a different study done by Dr. Adam Roberts, he found that a beard is actually a host of good bacteria, the type of bacteria that's going to fight off and kill the bad type of bacteria, and essentially be an antibiotic on your face. So when you combine the facts that completely shaving your face is opening up your skin for bacteria, for infection, and the fact that your beard is a harbinger of awesomeness and health and antibiotics, You should be saying, I'm clean bearded, and if someone shaves, they're dirty shaven. All right, but for real, what are some better alternatives to the term clean shaven? Well, simply, you could just say shaven, or completely shaven if you want to say how much you're shaved. You could go the opposite direction and do like the pro-beard propaganda way, which would be beardless. So any guy who decides to completely shave their face, they would be called beardless rather than clean shaven. Personally, I think taking it that far isn't necessarily the right thing to do. What you want to do is just bring it to a neutral stance. There's no propaganda behind the term shaven or completely shaven. There's no one trying to get rich off of that. It's just a fair and accurate term. So guys, I'm challenging you to think twice before you use the term clean shaven. It's not always been in our vernacular, and it's not always going to be in the future. And today, this date of this video is going to be the starting point for when we start removing clean shaven. So get on Wikipedia and change it from clean shaven to completely shaven. Get around the blogs, start correcting people and letting them know that clean shaven is no longer a term that you're okay with. As always, thanks for watching. Cheers and beard on.